So in the last lecture, we have started with screening or shielding effect. And we are interested in screening or shielding effect on the outermost electron or the valence electron. As only the valence electrons participate during bonding, we are interested in the shielding effect on the valence electron. In fact, shielding effect jo hai, it can be applied to any of the electrons present inside the atom. What happens in shielding effect? If there is only one electron present inside the atom, the force of attraction with the nucleus will be because of total nuclear charge, and it will be function of only distance. If we are having more than one electron inside the atom, the nucleus will be having attractive forces with different electrons because of its nuclear charge, as well as the electrons will be having repulsive forces among them. As a result, the net attractive forces will be decreased. The net attractive forces will be because of some effective nuclear charge. That effective nuclear charge will be always lesser than the total nuclear charge, and it is given by Z star equals to Z minus sigma, where sigma is called as the shielding constant. The shielding constant is a function of two parameters. It depends upon total number of inertial electrons, as well as it depends upon the orbital in which the electron is present. If the electron is present in s orbital, it can shield the outermost electron in all possible directions. If the electron is present in p orbital, that particular electron can shield the outermost electron only in these regions. If the outermost electron is present in this particular region, that electron cannot be shielded. So the shielding power of p orbital is lesser when compared to the s orbital. d orbital में आपको two nodal planes रहेंगे. So इस region में इन regions में electron shield नहीं हो सकता है. In p orbital you have only one nodal plane. In d orbital you have two nodal planes. In f orbital you will be having three nodal planes. जितना ज़्यादा nodal planes रहेंगे या जितना ज़्यादा nodal regions रहेंगे, shielding power इसका उतना ही कम होगा. Okay, everyone. Okay. So for a given shell, the order of shielding of different subshells is ns less than np less than nd less than nf. If the electron, उसके बाद हमने ये भी discussion किया, if the electron is added to the same shell, which happens in a period. If you go from left to right in a period, the electrons are added in the same shell. Same shell electrons will be having less shielding power when compared to the inertial electrons. So whenever you go from left to right in the period, as the electrons are added in the same shell, sigma जो है, it is not increasing to the same extent when compared to Z. Z जो है, it is increasing by 1 unit from left to right. So it is increasing at a faster rate, but sigma is increasing relatively at a slower rate. So overall Z minus sigma जो है, whenever you go from left to right in the period, Z star increases. Whenever you go from top to bottom in a group, the electrons are added into new shells. So इससे पहले जो भी electrons add हुआ होगा, all the electrons were added in the inner shells. Inner shell electrons can shield the outermost electrons more effectively when compared to the same shell electrons, because of which sigma also increases, Z also increases at the same rate, hence Z minus sigma will remain constant. So top to bottom in a group, Z star remains constant. Left to right in a period, Z star increases. ये याद रखना आप लोग. Clear है? Everyone, please put your video on. Fast, we will start. The periodic properties which we are interested in are atomic radius. उसी atomic radius में सब part हम ionic radius के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Then ionization energy, electron affinity, electron negativity. Electron affinity जो है, it is also called, referred to as electron gain enthalpy. Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. We'll understand the definitions later. These are the periodic properties which we need to study. मतलब study का मतलब क्या है? What is the variation of all these properties left to right in a period, top to bottom in a group? In order to understand that, we will be using the idea of Z star. First, we need to know the definitions of all these things. Then we will be using the idea of Z star to compare. Any doubt, anyone यहाँ तक?
No, sir.
Okay. Before individually going through, the periodic properties, we need to understand types of intermolecular forces present between various molecules. So पहले वो वाला part समझने के बाद we will go to the periodic properties. Types of यहाँ तक किसी को कुछ डाउट?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Anyone?
No, sir.
For your next exam, you will have periodic properties. Okay. कल आपको exam नहीं है. You are having a holiday tomorrow. For the next exam, you have entire periodic properties. Okay. Everyone, please put your video on fast. Okay. First of all, what do you understand by the term intermolecular forces? Anyone? Intermolecular forces.
Forces acting between two molecules, two or more molecules.
Exactly. Intermolecular forces are nothing but forces between the molecules. Okay. In general, there are two types of bonds which you may know. Those are covalent bonds and ionic bonds. What happens in an ionic bond? There is transfer of electrons. Suppose A और B के बीच में ionic bond मिल रहा है. A will be losing electrons. If A loses electrons, A will be attaining positive charge. If B gains electrons, B will be attaining negative charge. This particular bond, the bond formed between ions, it is called as ionic bond. And how we get ions? By transfer of electrons. A is losing electrons and it is attaining positive charge. B is gaining electrons and it is attaining negative charge. So in ionic bonds, the visualization of forces is easy because you are having charges. Whenever you have oppositely charged species, always there will be attractive forces. Because of those attractive forces, all the entities will be close to each other. Any doubt? Okay, this happens in ionic bond. Ionic bond के अंदर वो जो intermolecular forces visualize करना, it is obvious because of the presence of charges. But whenever you have a covalent bond, anyone, any doubt? Ionic bond के बारे में in detail we will understand in the chapter of chemical bonding. अभी के लिए इतना सोचना, ionic bond मतलब it is formed because of transfer of electrons between A and B. Whenever they transfer electrons, they will be attaining charges. One of the species will be positively charged and the other will be negatively charged. Because of presence of charges, there are attractive forces. Charges होने की वजह से उनके बीच में attractive forces है, intermolecular forces है. In case of covalent bond, a covalent bond is formed because of sharing of electrons. A will be giving one electron, B will be giving one electron, and both the electrons will be shared between A and B. Ideal covalent bond में क्या होना चाहिए? Both the electrons must be exactly present at the center. Suppose in order to have stability, suppose मान लेते मुझे 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए. Suppose कार्तिक को मान लेते, कार्तिक को भी 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए. But both of us are having only 50,000 rupees. Okay. So what we will do, we will say that हम दोनों एक joint account बनाएंगे. उस joint account में दोनों 50,000 deposit करेंगे, so that both of us feel like हमारे पास 1 लाख है. Agreed? Ideal case में क्या होना चाहिए? वो जो particular joint account का control दोनों को equal होना चाहिए. Agreed? But कार्तिक बोल रहे, सर मैं छोटा हूँ ना, सर I will have more control. मुझे दे दो. वैसे पूछ रहे, so मैं उसको control दे दिया. That is not an ideal covalent bond. Agreed? In that case, he is having more and more control. Or else मैं बोल रहा हूँ, as I am teacher, मैं बड़ा हूँ, I will manage that more effectively. I will take that. In that case also, it is not an ideal covalent bond, it is not 100% covalent bond. Agreed? ये कब हो सकता है? Suppose A and B के बीच में bond है, both of them are sharing one electrons. If Z star of A is greater than the Z star of B. Now that we know what is meant by Z star, what is Z star? Effective nuclear charge. Based on effective nuclear charge, I can have an idea on, based on effective nuclear charge, I can have an idea on influence of the nucleus on the outermost electrons. Agreed? जिनका Z star ज्यादा है उसका influence ज्यादा होगा. Suppose इस केस में I am considering the Z star of A is greater than Z star of B. In that case, the shared electrons will be closer to A when compared to B. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
और जो shared electrons है, they will be migrating towards A. Shift होंगे. They are not completely transferred. Remember, ये जो दो electrons है, पूरा A के ऊपर नहीं आया. They are just shifting their place. Is this clear? As a result, A के ऊपर you won't be having complete negative charge. You will be having partial negative charge. This is the symbol for delta. Partial. Complete negative charge nahi hoga. As the electrons are moving towards A, you are having partial negative charge. As the electrons are moving away from B, you will be having partial positive charge on B. Complete charges kab honge? Whenever it is an ionic bond. Whenever the electrons are completely transferred.
So you are not audible.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. You are not audible.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, in a covalent bond, you will be having partial charges on the atoms which are bonded, as the electrons are only shifted or migrated but not transferred, unlike in ionic bond. As Z star of A is greater than the Z star of B, A के पास electrons shift होंगे, giving partial negative charge on A, B के ऊपर partial positive charge आएगा, as the electrons are migrated away from B. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is resulting in the formation of charges, or this is resulting in the formation of two opposite ends. एक negatively charged end है, एक positively charged end है. And this particular molecule is called as a dipole. Whenever you have charges inside the covalent molecule, it is referred to as dipole. यहाँ पे negative charge, यहाँ पे positive charge. The charges can be partial, they are not complete. यहाँ पे minus plus indicates not -1 and +1. Negative charge है इस end पे, positive charge है इस end पे. You are creating two poles, oppositely charged poles. One is the negative pole and the other is the positive pole. This is called as electric dipole. An electric dipole is found because of charges. You can also have magnetic dipole. What is meant by magnetic dipole?
North and South Pole.
Exactly.
Opposite charges.
Because of opposite poles. Magnetic dipole matlab you have opposite
Poles.
North pole and South pole. Of magnetic poles. Smith, any doubt?
Yes sir. सर
Yeah.
मतलब कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड में दोनों के न्यूक्लियस से इक्वल डिस्टेंस पे हो तो कोई चार्ज नहीं होगा क्या, और पास आने लगा तो चार्ज होने लगेगा.
Exactly. क्योंकि दूसरा इलेक्ट्रॉन उसका पास में आ रहे हैं ना, उसका खुद का इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है, इसलिए पार्शियल नेगेटिव. उसका खुद का इलेक्ट्रॉन दूर चला गया, इसलिए पार्शियल पॉजिटिव. क्लियर है?
हाँ सर.
Okay. So this is called as electric dipole. Such molecules are called as the molecules which are having charges on them. Okay. Covalent bond के अंदर रहा तो it is called as, they are called as polar molecules. As they are having poles, they are referred to as polar molecules. Agreed? Any doubt?
No sir.
Okay. Now let us understand types of intermolecular forces. All these types of intermolecular forces are called as, उनके अलग सा name है, they are referred to as van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces में सबसे पहला van der Waals force dipole-dipole interaction. Dipole interaction. मतलब क्या है? Suppose now, if you have a covalent molecule, where the Z star of A and the Z star of B are different. In that case, one of the atom will be having partial negative and the other will be having partial positive. And I can overall represent this as a molecule having two ends. One of the end is negative end and the other is positive end. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So if you have several AB molecules inside the system, the type of interactions that are going to be generated, they are called as dipole-dipole interactions. मतलब क्या होगा? Several dipoles will be aligning in such a way so that they will form an attractive force. मतलब क्या है? इसका नेगेटिव है तो यहाँ पे ये पॉजिटिव रहेगा एंड इसका नेगेटिव इसका पॉजिटिव होगा. Between this negative and positive there will be generation of attraction.
Yes, sir.
Similarly यहाँ पे नेगेटिव होगा, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव होगा, यहाँ पे नेगेटिव होगा, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव होगा. They will be aligned in such a way so that they can have a positive interaction. Similarly, you can have a dipole here. I lost balance. ठीक है, यहाँ पे क्या होगा? यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव होगा, यहाँ पे नेगेटिव होगा, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव होगा, यहाँ पे नेगेटिव होगा, पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव. इन दोनों के बीच में you can have interaction, you can have an interaction between these two. So the interactions you are generating oppositely charged species. Okay, and those oppositely charged ends are obtained because of the difference in the Z star. So the type of interactions among polar molecules, it is called as dipole-dipole interaction. So you have dipole-dipole interactions among polar molecules. Okay, is that clear? If you take H2O, every example, you can take the molecule H2O. H2O जो है, it is a polar molecule. I can say polar covalent molecule. Even though there is no ionic bond in H2O, in case if there are ions, ionic bonds में there are charges के बीच में attractive forces ज़्यादा होंगे. Hence, in general, ionic compounds are solid in nature. If the attractive forces are lesser, Ayush, please be on mute. There is some disturbance from your side.
Okay.
Okay. If there are greater attractive forces, all the species will be close to each other. In that case, you will be having a solid. If the attractive forces are relatively lesser, then the molecules will be bit far from each other, then you will be having a liquid state. If the attractive forces among the molecules is very less, then in that case you'll be having a gaseous state. Agreed? क्योंकि सॉलिड्स में सारे पास में रहेंगे, लिक्विड्स में थोड़ा दूर रहेंगे. दूर क्यों रहा है? क्योंकि उनके अंदर अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस और इंटरेक्शंस कम है. गैसेस में और दूर है, इसका मतलब उनके अंदर इंटरेक्शंस और भी कम है. Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So in case of ionic molecules, the nature is because of very huge amount of attractive forces. The huge amount of attractive forces are due to significant charges, +1 -1. यहाँ पे significant charge है. Water जो है, it is not solid, right? It is liquid. It is in liquid form. The liquid form of water is because of dipole-dipole interactions. As dipole-dipole interactions are relatively weaker when compared to these ionic interactions. As a result, this is in liquid form, water. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Okay. If you take ice के अंदर आपको solid nature है, and that ice can be formed at lower temperature. So temperature और interactions के ऊपर effect कैसे होगा? We will understand that in later chapters. अभी के लिए उतना ज़्यादा focus मत करना. You can also convert a substance which is present in gas into a liquid form as well as into solid form by decreasing the temperature. So what is going to be the effect of temperature on interactions? We will understand that later. Any doubt, anyone?
No.
तो लिक्विड क्यों है, उसका रिलेशन फिर से बताइए.
रिलेशन ये है क्योंकि उनके अंदर इंटरेक्शंस रिलेटिवली कम है. रिलेटिवली कम क्यों है? क्योंकि it is having dipole where the charges are not that much significant. This is only partial negative, partial positive. Ionic के केस में you are having complete positive and complete negative charges where the attractive forces will be more. Charge जितना ज़्यादा होगा, attractive forces उतना ज़्यादा होगा. यहाँ पे dipoles में charges जो है, these are partial, hence the attractive forces are not that great when compared to the ionic interactions. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So dipole-dipole interactions किन में रहेंगे? Whenever you have polar molecules. Next type of interaction called as London dispersion forces. London dispersion forces, also called as induced dipole interaction. London dispersion forces or induced dipole forces. Okay. Suppose if you don't have any difference in Z star between the bonded atoms. If I am taking homonuclear molecule, what is meant by a homonuclear molecule? The molecule in which the atoms present are same. A भी A है, A भी A है. So इसका Z star, इसका Z star दोनों similar होंगे.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you have bonded electrons, both the bonded electrons will be at the center.
Huh.
Because of which, do you have any charges on them? Partial negative,
No.
partial positive. ऐसा कुछ रहेगा क्या?
नहीं,
No,
नहीं.
right? Okay. So such a molecule is called as non-polar molecule. This molecule is called as non-polar. मतलब it don't have any poles. Any doubt?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Ayush.
सर ये सारे फोर्सेस वो सिर्फ कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड में ही एप्लीकेबल होते हैं ना?
क्योंकि आयनिक बॉन्ड में ऑलरेडी फर्स्ट बारे में डिस्कस कर लिया है ना, पॉजिटिव चार्ज नेगेटिव चार्ज रहेगा, तो अट्रैक्टिव फोर्स होगा. आयनिक बॉन्ड में ऑब्वियस है. ओके, कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड्स में इंटरेक्शन कैसे जनरेट हो रहे हैं वो बता रहा हूं. If it is a polar molecule, then the interactions are due to dipole-dipole interactions. If it is a non-polar molecule, तब interactions कैसे होगा बता रहा हूं. If you take a non-polar molecule, the interactions are generated whenever a non-polar molecule comes close to another non-polar molecule. everyone. Whenever two non-polar molecules are approaching each other, in that case, इसमें electron density है, इसमें भी electron density है, because of the repulsive forces between the electron densities. What will happen is the electron density in one of the atom, the electron density in one of the atom will be migrating to the opposite end. Electron density मतलब वो जो electron cloud जो रहेगा, it will be migrating to the opposite end, resulting in the induction of charges. Initially, there are no charges inside this molecule, or it is non-polar. But whenever another molecule is coming close, whenever it is approaching, because of the interaction between the electrons के बीच में repulsive forces होगा. Because of those repulsive forces, the electron density which is present here, it is instantaneously migrating to the opposite end, leading to the formation of positive charge here. Absence of negative charge is nothing but positive charge. Agreed? So in order to attract this positive charge more and more, तब क्या होगा? यहाँ पे भी electron density इस साइड migrate होगा, leading to induction of charges. Initially, there is no charge. Because of their interactions, a dipole is getting induced. Hence, this particular dipole is called as induced dipole. यहाँ पे भी दो पोल्स जैसा बना ना, positive end and a negative end.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the interactions that got generated are called as induced dipole interactions. अभी ये जो dipole, induced dipole, ये interactions किसके ऊपर depend होगा? On what factor does it depend? Can I say more are the charges induced here, more will be the interactions?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, anyone?
No, sir.
जितना ज़्यादा charges induced होंगे, उतना ज़्यादा interactions होंगे. In order to have more and more charges induced, can I say the surface area of this must be large?
हाँ.
इनका surface area जितना बड़ा होता जाएगा, जितना बड़ा होगा, वो charges जो induce होगा उतना ज़्यादा होगा. Agreed? So ये जो induced dipole interactions which are present among non-polar molecules, it depends upon the surface area. Everyone, any doubt in this point? More the surface area, more are London dispersion forces. Agreed, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, यहाँ पे देखते हैं. I will give you an example. आपको और clarity आएगा. Let us take fluorine, bromine, and iodine. All these molecules are non-polar, first of all.
Yes.
या कोई polar molecule है?
No.
No, right?
No, sir.
All of them will be non-polar because there is no difference in Z star. If they are non-polar, what are the kind of interactions they can have? Induced dipole. Okay, which depends upon surface area. Fluorine being smaller in size, whenever two fluorine molecules are coming close, interactions उतना ज़्यादा develop नहीं होंगे because of the smaller surface area of fluorine. As a result, the molecules can drift away from each other. Whenever they're coming close, there will be formation of dipole. If they drift away, again the dipole will convert into a non-polar molecule. Is that clear? Induced dipole जो है वो हट जाएगा. As a result, what happens? The state of fluorine is gas. Fluorine जो है, it is gas. Similarly, chlorine का भी down the group. Chlorine में second shell है, chlorine में third shell है. Third shell मतलब atom size क्या हो गया? बड़ा हो गया.
हाँ.
Because size of chlorine, there can be more attractive forces because of the greater induced charges. But even then, chlorine का state भी gas ही होता है. Chlorine is also a gas. But if you go to bromine, bromine का size और थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा because of the significant increase in size. There will be significant amount of induced charges. Whenever bromine molecules come close to each other, there can be development of sufficient attractive forces, and the molecules can stay close to each other. Because of which the state of bromine becomes liquid. Bromine is a liquid element, na? Br2.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason for that? Even though it is non-polar, even though there are no charges initially in the bromine molecule, when one bromine is coming close to another bromine, there is generation of attractive forces, and sufficient attractive forces are getting generated because of the greater size of bromine. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Hence, it is
Yes.
becoming liquid. If you take iodine, iodine is a solid at room temperature. Iodine के अंदर there are no charges. At it is behaving like a solid because iodine having greater surface area can have more amount of induced charges. When one I2 molecule comes close to another I2, charges ज़्यादा develop होंगे, so attractive forces ज़्यादा बन पाएंगे. Clear है? That is the reason why iodine is solid. Okay? As you go down, as you go from fluorine to iodine, what is happening?
Change in state.
Due to increase in size of the molecules, London dispersion forces increases. Can I write that?
Yes, sir.
London dispersion forces increase, resulting in change in state. Any doubt, anyone?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, you should tell me.
सर ऑक्सीजन सल्फर और बाकी के ऐसे जो ये होते हैं ना पीरियड्स होते ग्रुप्स होते हैं ना उनमें ऐसा क्यों नहीं दिखता?
इनमें भी ऐसा ही दिखता है. यहाँ पे आपको मॉलिक्यूलर स्टेट में F2Cl2 Br2 है. H2 मॉलिक्यूल के अलावा S8 एग्जिस्ट होता है, S6 एग्जिस्ट होता है. So obviously having greater number of atoms, you will be having greater surface area, and sulfur is a solid. Okay. यहाँ पे सारे डायटोमिक मॉलिक्यूल्स बनाएंगे. क्लियर है आयुष? You
हाँ,
need to compare similar molecules. Like F2 कंपेयर किया तो Cl2 कंपेयर करेंगे, O2 कंपेयर किया तो H2 जैसा कंपेयर करो. ओके.
सर नहीं
But-
वैसे ही H2 में ऐसा लिक्विड जैसा क्यों नहीं दिखता, डायरेक्ट सॉलिड क्यों दिखता है?
क्योंकि वो H2 मॉलिक्यूल्स नहीं है. Those are not H2 units. वैसे बता रहा हूँ. It is S8. Sulfur exists as S8, S6. Because of greater number of sulfur atoms, obviously the surface area will be increased, everyone. If the surface area increases, obviously the state will be solid. समझा?
हाँ.
Okay. Okay. So London dispersion forces है. ये जो dipole dipole interactions एक इनके बीच में रहेंगे between polar molecules. London dispersion forces happens among non-polar molecules. You can have the third variety as dipole induced dipole. And dipole induced dipole interaction. So ये किन molecules के बीच में रहेंगे? Dipole, induced dipole, anyone?
डाइपोल और नॉन पोलर, मतलब पोलर और
Polar or non-polar? Okay, this will exist between a polar molecule. Dipole will be a polar molecule. Induced dipole will be a non-polar molecule. You can represent this as you are having a polar molecule and you are having a non-polar molecule. Whenever you have a polar molecule coming close to another non-polar molecule, suppose मान लेते हैं यहाँ पे नेगेटिव चार्ज है, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव चार्ज है. The negative charge or the negative electron density will be migrated towards the positive end in order to generate more and more attractive forces. Okay, so this is a polar molecule interacting with a non-polar molecule where there is generation of dipole or it is an induced dipole. Is that clear? This can happen, this type, as an example, I can take the interaction between H2O and O2. H2O जो है, it is a polar molecule. O2 जो है, it is a non-polar molecule. ये जो oxygen है, it can dissolve in water. It is able to dissolve in water as it is forming some positive interactions with water. What are the interactions that got developed there? Those are dipole, induced dipole interactions. Any doubt? Any doubt, anyone?
no sir.
Okay, the last variety of interaction, it is ion dipole interaction. Ion dipole interaction. Okay. What happens if I dissolve NaCl in water? Water matlab, usually we represent that as aqueous. What happens if I dissolve NaCl in water?
Na plus और Cl minus.
Everyone, please put your video on. Everyone. If you dissolve NaCl in water, it splits as Na positive plus Cl minus. Initially NaCl के अंदर, everyone, initially NaCl के अंदर, what is the type of interaction you have? You have attractive forces between the ions. Whenever I'm dissolving this in water, what is happening? If they are splitting as Na positive and Cl minus, can I say I'm breaking that positive interaction? Agreed. In order to break the attractive forces, can that happen on its own?
No sir.
मतलब यहाँ पे वो stable है, you are having attractive forces. Attractive forces will always lead to stability. If they are converting into Na positive and Cl minus, if they are separating, can I say they are becoming unstable? If they become unstable, ये reaction होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए? मतलब पानी के अंदर अगर NaCl को मिला रहा हूं तो वो spontaneously अपने आप में हो जाएगा क्या? Anyone tries to attain stability or they try to attain instability? Stability, right? So ये जो particular process है, this should not happen ideally, because initially Na positive और Cl minus के बीच में attractive forces है. After dissolving, if they are splitting into Na positive and Cl minus, they are becoming unstable. According to the concept, it should not happen. Agreed? But this happens, the reason is it is not simply Na positive. We write that as Na positive aqueous. And it is not simply Cl minus. We write that as Cl minus aqueous. What do I mean by this? Na positive is nothing but positively charged ion. You have a positive charged ion. Cl minus is nothing but a negatively charged ion. Whenever they are dissolved in water, water is nothing but a dipole. It is a polar molecule. Agreed? Having positive and a negative end. When this splits as Na positive and Cl minus, the positively charged Na positive will be attracting the negative ends of the dipole. Okay. There are several water molecules present inside that particular system. So all these water molecules will try to have a positive interaction with these ions. And it can be several layers. ऐसा सोचो एक बड़ा सा मैग्नेट है, उस मैग्नेट के ऊपर several small magnets are trying to attach or are trying to form an attractive force with it. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. What is happening? यहाँ पे इसका नेगेटिव एंड एंड यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव एंड रहेगा, इसका नेगेटिव एंड नेगेटिव एंड नेगेटिव एंड, and you are having positive ends here, negative, positive, negative, positive. I hope this is clear. The positively charged Na positive ion is trying to attract the dipoles present inside water. And whenever it is attracting, what is happening? It is generating an attractive force, or it is generating an interaction with these dipoles. This particular attractive force will be greater when compared to the attractive force between these two. इसलिए तो वो split हो रहा है Na positive और Cl minus ऐसा. And the kind of interaction that got generated, it is called as ion dipole interaction. Everyone, यहाँ पे जैसे पॉजिटिव चार्ज इनके साथ अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस बना, यहाँ पे नेगेटिवली चार्ज्ड आयन will be attracting the positive ends of the dipole. And that dipoles can be multi-layer. Multi-layer मतलब ऐसा एक ही लेयर होने की जरूरत नहीं, इसके बाद several dipoles आके अटैच होगा. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the water in this case, it is nothing but the solvent. The process of accumulation of these solvent molecules around these ions, that particular process is called as solvation. And in this case, if the solvent is water, it is also termed as hydration. The process by which ion dipole interactions generate, that particular process is called as solvation. What is solvation? It is nothing but generation of ion dipole interactions by accumulation of solvent molecules around an ion. Any doubt, anyone?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Ayush.
सर शुगर का भी ऐसा ही है ना?
शुगर का वैसा नहीं है. शुगर इज a covalent molecule. शुगर मॉलिक्यूल जो है वैसे छोटे छोटे ब्रेक्स मॉलिक्यूल्स में ब्रेक होगा. अगेन यू विल हैव ion induced dipole interactions. You don't have induced dipole and dipole interactions. You don't have an ion.
Okay, sir.
H1O11, it is not an ionic compound. You don't break that into ions. Okay? That will be
Okay, sir.
dipole induced dipole. Water will be dipole and sugar molecule will be forming induced dipole उन दोनों के बीच में. ये वाला हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Any
sir.
doubt,
Thank you,
anyone?
sir.
The reason for here having ion dipole interaction is NaCl is an ionic molecule. Whenever it breaks as ions. Yeah, Vardhan, ask me.
So the charges are of NaCl, right? That positive and negative.
This is
To which
NaCl minus. Yeah,
fine.
ये Na positive है. ये Cl minus है. Whenever you dissolve NaCl in water, वो अपने आप में break हो जाता है. अपने आप में क्यों break हो रहा है? They are forming a new interaction with the dipoles of water, which is stronger than initial interaction. कुछ species मिलेंगे नहीं. Whenever you dissolve some substances, they don't dissolve immediately. We need to heat it, right? The reason why we are heating that is you are breaking the interaction. You are breaking the interaction between those two, and you are making the new interaction with water molecules. We will analyze in detail about that in the chapter of chemical bonding. Any doubt, anyone?
No, sir.
I hope this is clear, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, ठीक है. ओके, अभी ये जो पर्टिकुलर सॉल्वेशन है इंपॉर्टेंट है. इस सॉल्वेशन किसके ऊपर डिपेंड होगा? On what basis the solvation depends? The solvation depends on two factors. जितना ज्यादा चार्ज होगा, सॉल्वेशन इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू. जितना ज्यादा चार्ज होगा इस आयन का, उतना ही ज्यादा अट्रैक्ट करेगा.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, sir.
More is the charge, more will be the strength of it, more are the dipoles that are going to be attracted. मतलब वो layers जो है और भी ज्यादा होंगे. Okay, so solvation is directly proportional to charge, and it is inversely proportional to size. मतलब क्या है? जितना छोटा साइज रहेगा इसका आयन का, in that case the charge is concentrated in a very small region. In that case it is going to be highly unstable. In order to attain stability, it will attract more and more dipoles towards itself. Whenever it attracts those dipoles, that particular charge is interacting with those dipoles. Everyone understand this? चार्ज जितने छोटे रीजन में कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड रहेगा वो उतना ही ज्यादा अनस्टेबल होता है. In order to attain stability, it will then attract more and more dipoles towards itself. और else आप लोग ऐसा भी सोच सकते हो, if the size of the ion is small, the nucleus will have more and more interactions with the dipoles. क्योंकि the attracted dipoles will be close to the nucleus. इसलिए बहुत ज्यादा dipoles को attract करेगा. But the actual reason is compared based on the stability. More is the size, then it will be relatively stable. आपको +2 चार्ज है, +2 चार्ज इस रेडियस में है and इस रेडियस में है. The +2 charge in this case will be relatively more stable when compared to +2 charge in this. So solvation आपको इसमें ज्यादा होगा. जिसका स्टेबिलिटी कम होगा उसका सॉल्वेशन ज्यादा होगा. Clear? Or else I can say charge upon size is nothing but charge density. Last lecture में ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा हमने.
हाँ सर.
So solvation is directly proportional to charge density. More is the charge density, less will be the stability. यहाँ पे मैं कुछ point लिख रहा हूँ. Everyone, very important. More the charge density, less is the stability of ion. Hence, greater solvation occurs in order to stabilize the ion. Any doubt, anyone?
No sir.
I'll give you a small question. Simply tell me the order of solvation. The question is Li positive, Na positive, K positive, Rp positive, Cs positive. You need to tell me order of solvation. Which particular ion will be solvated more? Answer.
Lithium.
Lithium positive will be greater than, positive will be greater than, K positive will be greater than, Rb positive greater than, Cs positive. Any doubt, anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No sir.
Okay. These are the different kind of interactions you have. Among polar molecules, you have dipole-dipole. Among non-polar molecules, you have induced dipole, also called as London dispersion forces, which depends on surface area. Then you have dipole-induced dipole. You can take the example of water and sugar, or you can take the example of water and O2. Sugar is able to mix inside water. That is the reason is dipole-induced dipole interactions. NaCl is able to dissolve in water. The reason is due to the formation of ion dipole interactions. And the process of accumulation of the dipoles around the ion, it is called as solvation. That particular solvation depends upon charge density. More is the charge density, more is the solvation. Okay. We are ready now. Now we can study all the properties. The first property which we are interested in is atomic radius. The name of the chapter is periodic classification and periodic properties. We have already classified the elements. Now we are trying to understand the variation of properties among them. The first property which we will be analyzing is atomic radius. Can anyone tell me what is meant by atomic radius and how can we measure it? Anyone?
The distance from the nucleus to the outermost shell.
Outermost shell. Valence shell.
Okay. Sorry. That is power cut. Okay. The distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell is nothing but the atomic radius,
Yes.
Yes.
or the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron is nothing but the atomic radius.
Yes.
The
Yes.
outermost electron is nothing but the outermost shell. Agreed? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you find the location of the outermost electron accurately or precisely? Can you do that?
No.
No.
Why
No.
not? Why not, Aryan? Aryan? Aryan Ingle? Why can't you find the position of the outermost electron accurately? हाँ आयुष बताओ.
सर क्योंकि हाइजेनबर्ग ने कहा था ना कि वो हम नहीं पता कर सकते.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Ayush. Absolutely right. Everyone, please put your video on. Because of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. What is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? The exact position and the momentum of the electron can never be measured simultaneously and accurately. Hence, we are only saying a region in which the electron lies, right? So we don't know the exact position of the outermost electron, everyone. So if you don't know the exact position, or if there is uncertainty in the measurement of position of electron, how can you measure the distance between the nucleus and electron? Am I right? Okay. And वो जो uncertainty जो है, it is also inversely proportional to mass. What is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? Delta X into delta V is greater than or equals to
H by
H
4
upon
4 pi m.
pi m. Mass जो है जितना कम होगा, what happens to the uncertainty? It will be increased. Agreed? So if I try to measure, everyone, if I try to measure the position of the electron and the position of the nucleus, in which case I will be more certain? I want to measure everyone. जो delta x है, it is inversely proportional to mass. More is the mass, less will be the uncertainty. Less is the mass, more is the uncertainty. Agreed? If I am trying to measure the position of the electron and if I try to measure the position of the nucleus, out of these two, in which case I will have more certainty, or in which case the error will be less? Answer.
Nucleus.
Nucleus.
Because nucleus is having greater mass. जितना ज़्यादा mass होगा, uncertainty कम होता जाएगा. So I can more precisely measure the position of the nucleus rather than measuring the position of the electron. Is this clear? So
Yes.
what we will do is, for having an estimate of atomic radius, what we will do is, we will measure the internuclear distance, मतलब distance between two nuclei, and उसका आधा करेंगे. Half of the internuclear distance between two bonded atoms is considered as atomic radius. मतलब क्या है, everyone? First I will write the definition, then you will understand. What is actual definition of atomic radius? It is defined as the distance between the distance between the nucleus of the atom and the outermost shell or valence shell electron. The exact determination exact determination of atomic radius is not feasible or possible due to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. This we have seen in the chapter of atomic structure. Due to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And moreover, there is a difficulty in isolating a single atom. एक single atom को isolate करना भी मुश्किल है. And difficulty in isolating an atom. Okay. Therefore, how do we define atomic radius? Therefore, it is defined as half of the internuclear distance. What is meant by internuclear distance? Distance between two nuclei. You need to see the adjacent nuclei. Half of internuclear distance between atoms. Any doubt, anyone? आया समझ में?
हाँ सर.
Based on this definition, we have three different types of radii. One is covalent radius. We have metallic radius. And finally, we have van der Waals radius. Metallic radius and van der Waals radius. I will write the definition of covalent radius. We will understand covalent radius. आपको exact idea आ जाएगा. What is the general definition for atomic radius? It is defined as half of the internuclear distance between atoms. Covalent radius matlab if you take a covalent bond between two atoms, then we will define the covalent radius. Radius is defined as half of internuclear distance between two nuclei of atoms bonded by a single covalent bond. Bonded by a single covalent bond. Okay. मतलब क्या है? Suppose you have the molecule A2. There is some molecule A2. What is meant by covalent bond? Where you have donation of electrons, where you have sharing of electrons. Okay, sharing of electrons usually हम represent कैसे करते हैं? We are having two atoms. Both the atoms are atoms of element A. इसका electron density जो है, इसका electron density जो है, both of them are overlapping. This overlapped region is nothing but the shared electron density. So this particular electron density will part of this as well as will be part of this. Okay, this is how we represent a covalent molecule. You'll understand again the exact details, what is meant by this overlapping, how does an overlap occur in the chapter of chemical bonding. अभी के लिए इतना समझो, whenever you have covalent bond, there is sharing of electrons. Sharing of electrons का मतलब the overlapped region will be shared between the two atoms. Okay, so if these two atoms are bonded by single covalent bond, if you take the distance between these two, इन दोनों के बीच में distance find करके, if you take the half of that internuclear distance, it is considered as the atomic radius. Okay, so यहाँ पे A और मान लेते हैं this is also A. The distance between A and A is nothing but, or the distance between A and A upon 2 is nothing but radius of A. Agreed? Everyone. Actual में क्या आता है आपको? You are getting this particular value. Whenever you are calculating that value, आपको ये आ रहा है. Actual radius कितना है उसका? इतना है. There will always be some error. Everyone. आप ये वाला value find करते हैं और ठीक है. This particular value you are finding, but actual radius of A is इतना है या यहाँ पे find किया तो this much. There will always be some error in the measurement. You may not get the exact radius value. You will be getting approximately equal to the radius of A. So distance between A upon 2 is approximately equal to radius of A. Any doubt?
No,
Any
sir.
doubt? Okay. This is the case. This will be the case for homonuclear atoms. Homonuclear. मतलब both the atoms are of same size. If I take molecule AB, which is heteronuclear, मतलब both the atoms will be of two different sizes. Suppose मान लेते हैं एक atom A है and this is another atom. Okay, this is another atom. यहाँ पे एक न्यूक्लियस है, यहाँ पे B का न्यूक्लियस है. This is nucleus of A. This is nucleus of B. If I find the distance between these two, okay, in this case I should not do it half. In this case, what I can write the expression as DAB, distance between AB, I can write that as radius of A plus radius of B. Agreed? A radius of A plus radius of B is nothing but distance between AB. This case, my distance between this upon 2 I can definitely say it is radius of A. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. this is the expected thing. ये होना चाहिए, distance between AB has to be radius of A plus radius of B, but ये नहीं रहेगा, the actual will be something else. अभी के लिए expression दे रहा हूँ आपको. I will explain you why will the distance between AB be RA plus RB minus 0.09 times mod of delta En. This will be the actual distance between AB, but not RA plus RB. What is the reason behind this? What do I mean by this? We will understand in the next lecture. I'm wrapping the lecture here. Okay, we will understand the exact details of other type of radius, metallic radius, van der Waals radius, and heteronuclear में what is the reason for this expression in the next lecture. Thank you.